What's up, guys? Welcome back. Patreon request. Doc Ock from Spiderman season 4 PS4 requested by Emmanuel on Patreon. So the problem is, like, to get like all 4 of his tentacles, like, say, like, if I got them, like the heads of them here, like, he's like I can't even, you couldn't even see it basically. So to get his face properly done and everything, his shoulders, we got 1 claw coming in here. So top half of my page up here, right? And we're gonna, if you've like something circular stencils, because he's got these circle goggles, right? If you've some like a stencil or a compass that you could use, feel free. If not, go to town with your circles. Right. So there's circles around these circles. So we got like a rim, like an extra, like an edge line coming around this one. And you guessed it, there's another one. But this one kind of disappears into his goggles. So say like, we'll go this way. Right, and then like the goggle comes around like that. And it might have an extra sort of little edge line here, like for where it hits his nose. And then this goes up and over. Right, and then we have like a clip or a clasp or something like straight down there. So tricky enough now, because of all these circular lines and edges and stuff. Could be another circle in there, but that's probably the main areas anyway. So then it kind of comes across his nose, and then across the other section there. It's got like some details and stuff on top. And then we'll attempt to do these circles again, right? So right in line with that one. Like so. And then there is the extra rim line. It's always tricky doing like man-made circular things like this. Okay, and again, like you have that little sort of flat area there. It's kind of helpful to have. And then these lines that come around the edge of the goggles here. Okay. So there could be like extra circular lines on that, but it is kind of tricky to get them all in when things are this small. Like little, so maybe a little edge line or something just around that again might make it look a bit more 3D. But you don't really want to do much more than that. So he's got some like frowns coming out from there as well, just for his nose. You can't really see his eyebrow, but like, you know, kind of like a rough sort of wrinkle brow shape. You know, just some kind of skin lines, I guess. So his nose, he's not a chiseled guy, kind of, right? So we got like, no offense, Doc Ock, but he's not like superhero features. So his nose kind of comes out just kind of around there. And then we got like sort of round sort of tip of his nose, and then a nostril. There. Just darken that up, make it a shadowy thing. And then like his nostril on the other side. Kind of like that. Like bridge of his nose. So that's all we need to do for his nose. So then his cheeks, kind of just light sort of cheek lines. There, another one down there. And then, so his mouth kind of downturned underneath sort of the inside of the goggles, right? So he's got these sort of little dimples on the side of his cheeks. And then his mouth down in the middle, so it like curves down into the middle section and then up again. Down to there. And then his bottom lip, relatively thin. And then his top lip. Maybe like this little curvy thing on top lip there. His chin is kind of round, so maybe like a little sort of bump for his chin there. So his neck, like he has neck chin, so he's he doesn't really have a jawline. Right, so he has a chin, but his face kind of just joins onto his neck. It's kind of rough, hard to explain. So it goes sort of like down this way for his cheek, but then that joins like his neck and all that stuff. It's not, so I wouldn't call him sort of, you know, chiseled or anything. So he's got a few sort of neck lines and chin lines and stuff here. And then this comes up to his sideburn, which is just a V. Sort of there. Like maybe a bit more of his neck. So these goggles then have the clips, these rectangles just here. Okay, and those straps seem to disappear in behind his ears and his hair. So you might have a little bit of a right. And these things kind of go behind his ears, right? So his ears just like here. Right. So then he has like a round egg sort of shaped head, right? And we have a hairline just coming up. It's kind of pointy in the middle. Okay. And then we get, yeah, some like forehead lines and stuff just to show the shape of his, make it sort of round so it like bumps over his skull a bit there. And his hair seems to be all sort of combed back, right? So it's kind of like bumpy. Might get the odd little spike, but it's all just slicked back. Okay. That's kind of what we're dealing with for Doc Ock. His head, anyway. So then we have a woolly jumper, like a sweater, coming around his neck. Some textures on it like that. And then up, sort of around here as well. We meet this sort of leather thing coming down the middle. Okay, and these are like armor shoulder pad sort of things. So it's a bit of detail, edges and edge lines in this. But we get maybe the zipper part first, just to get the center line of his chest sort of in. Okay, so this is like armor, so it's big, it's kind of wide, goes down that way. The other one not as wide because 3/4 pose, right? So it's probably, this shoulder is probably half the size of this one because his body is turned away from us, right? So it's kind of here. Now some of his hand might come over, but the tentacle thing. Okay. And then we'll just go up, across, down, into there. There's like edge lines and little details on all that, but we'll just draw the shape in first. Like a little clip there or something. Right, and then like, so his chest sort of comes down this way, and his stomach, and then on this side we can see like his armpit and bicep and all that. And then like his tricep kind of comes down here. It's like a pocket on his arm or something, so it goes kind of off my page because it sticks out. And then his back is like in there. Big guy. Okay. So details. Okay. So we'll go with like edge lines first. Coming around all this stuff. Where's my other pen gone? Nope. Keep picking up the wrong one. Yes. And then there's like a little clip here. And there's like a little line there, maybe like an extra edge. In there. There's something else here, but his claw kind of comes across the shoulder, so I'll just leave that for the minute. One of these little clips. Right, let me just keep adding little edge lines around here. It's like a little box here. Okay, and then he has some more details, some like zipper lines and stitching and all stuff coming down here on all this green stuff. It's like zippers on this side. One there as well. Just little rectangles with like lines to them. Like some fold lines on his armpit. Another leather box or something here with those clips. Like that. Like so. There's like a pocket or something here, so I'm just adding these kind of quickly. You don't have to do crazy amounts of details to this stuff. Boop. Okay, so his claws. So we'll do like the base of it, maybe like coming out here, right? Go off my page. Like spirals out and around, comes back in over his body. Let's say there's like the top of it here. So there's like 4 claws, 2 big ones on the bottom, 2 on top. But I think he has like rectangular lights. It may not be lights, but I'm not sure. I think they glow yellow. Okay. And I can see like there's one like coming out of his arm there, but we can't see the tentacles. Alright, so we'll try and get this claw in. Now I brought it kind of closer down here maybe. It's quite detailed. So let's try this. So there's one like claw here. We'll just draw like the outline of the claw first and then add some detail lines, right? And then the next one sort of goes, and this will come down onto his body. Kind of like hooks around sort of here. There's like other claws, tiny ones in here, so it kind of like bumps around maybe. And then we'll go up. So like a claw there. And then the fourth claw is here. This comes down into there. It's like a connector here. Lots of sort of little angles and stuff here now. It's quite detailed. It's basically just like fingers like that. And then this one goes down this way. There's like a back portion to that there. Right, so that's the general shape. I'll erase the lines in there, but let me just draw this back part first. It seems to have ridges and spikes and stuff on this, sort of bumpy, wavy stuff here, and then like what looks like sharp spikes anyway coming out of it. And then we'll do just what we can see. Like, so we'll do like maybe a couple of rectangles. It's quite elaborate though, like stuff here. So they're like computer generated, but you know, so they're able to put like crazy detail, make it look super real. So then there's like extra claws inside, right? So basically it looks like they're like, so there's like one here, I think. It like disappears into his thing here. There. Another one like here. Then there's like this one, so this is one as well. Sticks out a bit further. And then there may be one down here. And he's got like that glowing circular area inside. You know, with like all details and edge lines and stuff on all of this. Carving coming around, kind of like fingers and stuff. Right. I will erase these just so it's clearer. Right. Now, like details on the fingers. So you can go as crazy detailed with this as you want. So we'll get the nails in first, like these sort of where the metal meets them. Right, there's kind of one here. And then there is a line down there, I think. Maybe a line down the middle of that, because it's turned towards us. And then there's like all angles and like stuff like this. It's pretty much everywhere. So, you know, you could do as much as you want. All ridges and edge lines and like gears and sprockets and stuff. I'm simplifying now a bit. I'm just sort of breaking up the space. You know, into lines and angles and stuff like that. This is always like challenging, trying to recreate computer renderings. There's like a little circular thing there. It just goes up and of course, coloring it grey and silver will help if you do that. Right. Again, if you want to go crazy nuts with that detail, you can. But sometimes it's, you know, not necessary. And when you color it the same color, like colors Fang's yellow, that should be enough. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.